Have you ever heard of an app that wants to be, well, more than just an app? One that's aiming to be the entire operating system for your life. Today we're going to dive into Line, the messaging service that ballooned into an all-encompassing digital empire. So how did a simple app get this idea that it could become the very infrastructure of modern life?
I mean, listen to that. That's not just some slick marketing slogan, that's a mission statement. Line literally sees itself as being as essential as your electricity or your internet. It's an incredibly bold claim. And to really get that ambition, you first need to understand the kind of app we're even talking about.
You see, Line is what we call a super app. The idea is, instead of having a dozen different apps for everything you do, a super app just bundles it all into one place. So think about it like this. What if your WhatsApp, your Venmo, your Uber, and your Amazon app were all smashed together into one seamless experience? That's a super app. It's a one-stop shop for your entire digital life.
But here's the thing. This digital giant wasn't dreamed up in a Silicon Valley boardroom with a grand plan for market domination. Nope. Its origins are way more dramatic, forged in a moment of profound national crisis.
Just try to imagine the chaos. It's March 2011, and the massive Tōhoku earthquake and tsunami absolutely devastate Japan. Phone lines are down, SMS networks are totally jammed, and in that terrifying silence, people couldn't reach their loved ones. A team of engineers saw this desperate, critical need, and just a few months later, they launched Line. It wasn't a cool new gadget. It was a lifeline. It offered free calls and messages over data networks, which were way more resilient. It solved a real, urgent human problem. And because of that, Japan embraced it. And the result? By the end of 2013, it wasn't just an app. It was the country's biggest social network.
So, with millions of people now relying on the platform for their most basic communication, Line had the perfect foundation to build something way, way bigger. Something far more integrated into the very fabric of daily life.
And boy, did they build. Line just started weaving itself into every single corner of daily life. Need to pay for your morning coffee? Use Line Pay. Want to play a quick game with a friend on the train? There's Line Games. Need a ride? Line Taxi. It wasn't just tacking on features. It was building this whole self-contained world, an ecosystem, where every service you use locks you in just a little bit deeper, making the app pretty much indispensable.
Okay, check out this number. Over 1 billion. That's how many stickers, those big expressive emojis, are sent by Line users every single day. That's insane. It just goes to show how deeply embedded this thing is in the culture. For millions of people, it's not just a utility anymore. It's practically its own language.
And as you can imagine, that deep cultural integration has translated into just staggering market dominance, especially in Asia. The numbers here really tell the whole story.
So while you can get Line pretty much anywhere in the world, its real power is incredibly concentrated. It is the dominant force in 4 key markets: Japan, Thailand, Taiwan, and Indonesia. In these countries, it's not just another option on your phone. It's often the default way you do, well, everything.
And the total number of people inside that ecosystem is just enormous. We're talking about nearly 200 million people using it every single month. But, when one company has that much influence, that much of your data, and that much of your trust, it starts to raise some pretty serious questions.
Because when one single company controls so much of your digital life, from your private chats to your payments, the stakes become incredibly high. And as we're about to see, Line's journey has definitely not been without a pretty significant dark side.
And this brings us to the most crucial question of all. What is the true cost of all this convenience? The benefits, they're obvious. But the risks? Well, the risks are often hidden just beneath the surface.
So let's just look at the track record. In 2021, a huge scandal broke when it was revealed that Chinese engineers could access Japanese user data. We're talking names, phone numbers, even private messages. Then, in 2023, a major breach leaked over 440,000 personal data items. And it goes beyond just breaches. There are these ongoing concerns about censorship. The app has been accused of suppressing content in China, removing LGBTQ-friendly emojis in Indonesia, and taking down political stickers in Thailand, often under government pressure.
And look, these aren't just isolated incidents. They seem to point to much bigger, systemic issues. You've got allegations of data interception by South Korea's intelligence service. An official committee found that Line's system just wasn't properly reviewed for security risks. It's so serious that Taiwan actually banned it from government computers, and the Japanese government has had to repeatedly order the company to fix its security and separate its systems from its South Korean parent company.
So all of this brings us right back to that central dilemma of the super app. It is the ultimate trade-off, really.
your convenience on one side and your security on the other.
And this is that trade-off right here in black and white. On one side of the scale, you have the incredible convenience of an all-in-one platform. It's seamless, it's easy. But on the other side, that very same centralization creates this massive, high-value target for data breaches. It opens the door to potential government surveillance, and it makes the app a really powerful tool for censorship.
So, as these everything apps become more and more common, the question isn't really just about Line anymore. It's about you. How much of your privacy, your security, are you willing to trade for a simpler digital life? When it comes right down to it, what price are you willing to pay for convenience?